Why so quiet? I thought you'd be merry. King Henselt himself will honor us with a visit.
We're all going to die.
We can't repel the attack.
Henselt is invincible.
We won't be fighting mere minions, but their king. And the king himself will have to recognize our victory. Could a soldier dream of better than defeating a monarch? Or maybe you're afraid to fight. Maybe we should fly a white flag. It's so simple. Henselt will quickly set up his order here. Inns will be marked humans only. Dwarves will choke in the mines. Elves will perish, hunted in the forests. Lords will slaughter peasants because they didn't bow low enough. Is that the land you want to leave to your children?
No!
Never!
You're shitting bricks because Henselt is coming! Who is he? A god? No. He has arms, legs, and blood, as red as any of ours. If he dares to cross these walls, then we'll gladly spill some of it.
Yes!
Get Henselt!
Long live Saskia!
Many of you won't see the light of dawn again. Many won't return to your women or drink with friends. But we will care for and honor their graves when they enter the earth. Adernian earth. Those who survive will live with their heads held high, for only such a life makes sense. Now, to arms and to the walls, let's show Henselt real war!
Kick a few more headway out there! Attack!
Henselt will pay dearly for this siege!
Terrorists, murderers, a death squad. Or freedom fighters in an uneven battle, noble in their suffering. It all depends on your point of view. I helped Yorvith. I gave him my trust. I joined Saskia and took the side of the rebels, their new values and ideals. Time will tell if I was right. One thing is sure. Elves are the best archers who have ever walked this earth.
Yorvith, that's what I call an entrance.
I have to admit, the squirrel has style.
Not all is lost. We need to cut off Henselt's escape.
What are you talking about? He looks as if he likes it here.
He'll change his mind. Join Yorvith and shut the main gate.
Yarpin says Death Mold's magic damaged it.
Yarpin knows fuck all about gates. Cover my arse and I'll close it.
The fate of the battle hangs on it, dwarf.
There's no bloody gate that Zoltan Chive can't close. Up the ladder! Yes, sir!
Yorvith, we need to get to the main gate, now.
Admit it. You thought I wouldn't come back, Windblade?
You're hellishly good. We need to stop Hensel from retreating.
And then force him to try it.
There's no time to waste. To the gate! Done!
They're cut off like sitting ducks.
Maybe they'll surrender.
Sire, your orders. We surrender.
The battle is over, King.
You won, and the victors state their terms.
You know my terms. You will relinquish Eden and sign an act of unconditional surrender in which you'll promise your troops will never cross the Pontar.
Is that all?
You'll pay war reparations and recognize the free realm of Upper Eden with Saskia of Vergen at its head.
What about me and my men? What awaits us?
Freedom. It's a great thing. Look how many of my soldiers died defending it.
How much do you want?
We'll discuss the war reparations in detail at Loch Muin before esteemed witnesses. There's one thing Saskia didn't mention.
I'm listening.
Since the dawn of time, wars were, are, and will yet be. One side wins, the other loses. But military conflict should be carried out under chivalrous rules and laws.
What's your point, sorceress?
War criminals, including Deathmold, must be punished.
I need an advisor.
War criminals must be punished.
You'll have a new advisor, Sheila de Tanzaville.
Has this witch gone mad?
It's a necessary condition.
Deathmold committed a crime and he must be punished.
As you wish.
Execute him.
Don't allow them to harass me like a dog. You'll see how a real sorcerer dies, foolish whores!
Swear an oath and you'll walk free.
Who am I negotiating with anyway?
Philippa Eilhart and I speak with one voice.
Be wary of the sorceresses. They often forget whose perch is higher.
Philippa is my advisor.
We await your decision, King.
I, King Henselt, Lord of Kedwin, swear before witnesses that I will relinquish Adarian borders. I recognize Saskia of Vergen's reign in the realm of the Pontar Valley, and I swear to pay war reparations in the amount agreed upon at Loch Muin.
You're free.
Show the king the way out. It's time to go, Saskia.
Yes.
I don't like it.
What?
Saskia. I know her well. She's never behaved like that.
Her eyes look as if she's taken Fistech.
I assure you, she doesn't use it. Let's follow them. They disappeared.
A teleport.
Let's search Eilhart's house. She was in a hurry. Maybe she left something. Let's take a look. I've got nothing, except for women's finery. If only this bed could speak.
Yorvith, over here. I've got something.
What is it?
A tome of potion recipes.
We've no time to read books.
Sorceresses carefully guard books like this.
Not that carefully. After all, she left it behind.
She was in a hurry.
Could this book have anything to do with the Dragon Slayer?
Most things in this land seem to have something to do with Saskia, the dragon.
How do you know?
She told me.
Then keep your mouth shut, Gwynblade, because if...
I know what will happen if they learn, Yorvith. I've found Thaumadour's recipe.
Eilhart already told us the ingredients for mage pain. How's it relevant?
Usually the recipe for an antidote is right next to the one for the poison.
I can recite it exactly. Royal blood, an immortelle, a dragon's dream, and petals from a rose of remembrance.
Yet this book doesn't even mention a rose of remembrance.
I recall perfectly that Eilhart said a rose of remembrance combined with an immortelle heals the mind.
What if she lied? Maybe it doesn't heal the mind, but influences it. Philippa passed the flower to Saskia through a kiss, the symbol of love and perdition.
I'm confused.
I think Philippa subjugated Saskia's mind by adding the rose to the antidote.
I'll kill that bitch.
Philippa has magic and an obedient dragon at her command. She could have a strong influence on the conference.
But what does she want?
We can only learn that in Loch Muin.
Let's go then, Gwynblade.
Geralt! Saskia's disappeared. People are getting riled.
Dwarves, too!
Saskia's gone to the summit that's supposed to re-establish the Council and Conclave. She wants the kings assembling at Loch Muin to recognize Vergen's independence.
The lass has good gumption.
But everything will go to hell without her. We showed Hensel's his place. But what of it if everything falls apart now? Someone's got to bring these folks together. Without that, it'll have been a hollow victory.
I'm going after Saskia, with Yorvith. Everything suggests those responsible for Foltest's death will be at Loch Muin.
Some still say you killed him.
I've got to stop that drivel. Don't have a choice, but you do.
The elite of the North is gathering at Loch Muin. I couldn't forgive myself if I wasn't there. It'd be a sin against art.
The art of poking your nose in others' business.
You'll be needed here until Saskia returns. Order must prevail. There can be no strife. The victory over Henselt was an important step, but only the first on a long road.
The hymn I composed could help.
Vergen will need many more songs.
I certainly hope our paths will cross again, Geralt of Rivia.
Stop dramatizing. You can be sure of that. We've got unfinished business of our own.
Huh? Oh, aye.
Let's go then, Gwynblade.
Sheila de Tanserville. I'd sensed from the start that some dark mystery lay behind that cold countenance. Following the demise of the Council and Conclave, there was no one left to keep the mages in line. But regicide? Why? What was this all about? It seemed these questions would be answered at Loch Muin, an ancient city amidst mountains, the remnants of the civilization of the Vrans, whose dusk had come long ago. And you would be right to ask, why did you not set out for Loch Muin, Master Dandelion? Vergen was free. Yet what is freedom without its awareness? It might too easily pass from hand to hand were a nation to lack individuals capable of pointing the way. I remained in the Palantir Valley. That is the task fate seemed to assign me, to safeguard freedom as it budded and bloomed. Who knows, I may yet prove freedom's bard. Yet forever feeling a vast, shared responsibility for the fate of the North, I dispatched to Loch Muin my faithful and capable friend, Geralt of Rivia. Have I mentioned his disdain for politics? Well, it was at Loch Muin where he could finally give vent to it.
Even gesehen?
Asira varanheid.
Me voltocht en geherdveen. Me vertruv het een bellengrek.
Visidein ip kieseret. Net en verbtene. Het en krisa. Do you know what this is?
I know.
Who it is?
Triss Marigold. Until recently advisor to King Foltest. Artifact compression. A complicated spell.
Is she alive?
Her life processes are on hold, but it is reversible. Though, very difficult.
You created a portal between Loch Muin and Nilfgaard. You should manage the figurine.
Stand back. I cannot be sure how her body will react to decompression.
No pentagrams, candles, spilt blood.
It figures you know little about magic, Ambassador. It matters not.
We need her alive, Asira. Make sure her body survives decompression well.
I'll do what I can, but she will be disoriented for some time. What is your name? Oh! Tell me your name. Triss!
Vise getocht gedein. Vise espeit eb wovret. Daar tocht eb nedling derien. Mehen eveneens eb turin. Me pöft en alverdeg. Marigold. Your name is Triss Marigold.
I recognize this valley. This path leads to the city gates.
When were you here last?
Long time ago, by your measure. Okay, we're wasting time. Knights of the Flaming Rose at a peace summit.
I wonder whose side they're on.
On that of whoever paid them.
Any idea who might have summoned them?
Radovid. Now the scum of the Order wear the Redanian coat of arms as they burn pyres. Witch hunts are their favorite pastime, or so I've heard.
Radovid witnessed what the Order did in Vizima. He saw the Grand Master's madness with his own eyes. Yet he gave them a new home. For a good reason, I expect.
That's easy. He needed a whip against Isleheart.
They've made camp outside the city walls. Means they're not here in an official capacity.
Are they on vacation?
Maybe they just don't want to stand out.
Isleheart has a dragon up her sleeve. Radovid has invited a unit of the Order's knights.
Don't forget Sheila and Henselt.
It should be an interesting peace summit.
You shouldn't let them see you.
I know. To them, a good elf is a dead elf.
It's not because you're an elf. It's because you're Yorvith.
I'll try to enter the city through the caves. I'd advise you to do the same.
The knights will know I'm wanted. You know of a passage?
I know of a cave nearby. There are many ways to enter Loch Muin, my friend. If Radovid has summoned the Order, I'm certain the others have brought their armies as well. The city must be full of soldiers. All of them sitting as if on a witch's bomb, waiting for a spark. But that may be to our advantage. If the rulers have holed themselves up in camps, it should be easy to move about between them.
Let's go before we get noticed.
Good you're here. Look what I found.
Keep your distance.
Already forgotten that a similar creature hung around my cave.
Damn monsters.
There's a forested valley on the other side of the city. Once teeming with wildlife. It's now dead. The royal delegations arrived here that way.
I know. That's why we went around. What exactly killed the Vrans?
As the years went by, the climate turned colder and the Vrans had less and less food. Their hunters descended to the land. They forced human settlement. The Vrans began to fall. They tried to save themselves, building an aqueduct and sewers that rivaled today's. But it grew colder.
We're in Loch Muin.
We're on the fringes somewhere. We should find what we came for nearer the main quarters.
Let's go. Medallion again.
They gagged Philippa in the nick of time. She almost cast a spell. Rotting in the Redanian dungeon now in special shackles.
Radovid's right to show the witches their place.
I wonder what they'll do to her. Either the executioner or the monsters will have their fun. They say Loch Muin's dungeons are full of scum of all kinds.
No idea what they locked her up for, but every sorceress is guilty of something.
True enough. Not likely to see anyone weeping for her.
A dungeon befits Philippa Eilhart very well, though gallows would be even better.
If they killed her, you can forget about healing Saskia.
They must guard her as heavily as the Emperor's bedchamber. We'll not get in there.
I'm in no hurry to visit the Emperor's bedchamber, but we've got to get into the dungeon.
Look for a passage through the sewers. I'll locate Eilhart's quarters. If she didn't expect to be arrested, I may find something interesting there.
The tunnels beneath the city sound reasonable.
They used to lead almost everywhere, though some passages may have collapsed during the fires.
It's still worth a shot.
Let's go then.
I'll find Philippa. You search her quarters.
Right. We learned a lot the last time we browsed through her things. Va fail, Gwynblade.
I don't believe you killed Foltest.
I didn't.
But a bounty is a bounty. I'm sure you understand. As a professional, it's nothing personal.
One more windbag.
Onward! Think of the
it! Welcome.
Now you tell me. I don't work with sorceresses. This is no job for me.
What's going on? Are you about to fight?
The Conclave has forbidden dueling.
You can't just back out. We agreed. We have commitments to fulfill.
You did take an advance on your fee. And I'm keeping it. Don't you follow me.
The gods have sent us a witcher. A word, if you will, Master.
What do you want?
We've been looking for someone like you.
A witcher?
Someone to protect our expedition.
I don't have much time. Let me hear some details.
The sorceress will reveal everything. We're on our way to meet her. I can only say it concerns Der Henna.
His laboratory, to be precise. Der Henna is dead.
I know a thing or two about monsters, and about sorceresses. What's this one's name?
I'm sorry, but we cannot disclose her name until you agree to join us.
Nice talking to you then.
Cynthia! Her name is Cynthia!
What was Der Henna doing in this city?
Everyone's heard of his 1,000 genie curse, but few know that he also had a penchant for the history of Lochmuin. He was particularly interested in the Vrans and their ultimate decline as a civilization. In his memoirs, he mentions that he left his archive here. That's how we pinpointed the location of his laboratory.
You did?
The sorceress did, in point of fact.
But we're the ones who know everything about Der Henna.
I wrote my dissertation about the man. To arrive at the laboratory, we must pass through the sewers.
All right, I'm willing to help.
You won't regret it.
Where do we start?
We've gained access to an ancient crypt where mages were laid to rest. It's beneath that tower. Our companions await us there.
Oh, it's a lovely day today.
We've broken through! In the right spot!
Stand ready. He killed Vanamar.
And many other mages. I know who he is, Cynthia.
In the same city as Philippa, and you didn't even bother to change your name. That takes balls.
Philippa's out of the picture. She's been arrested.
And I was supposed to die, but I didn't. Grave error.
I'll make you a deal.
You don't get it. You turned Triss into a cold stone. I'm having a hard time trying to figure out why I shouldn't turn you into a cold corpse.
She is alive and well. We decompressed her successfully. There were no complications.
And the interrogation after she was decompressed? Because you did interrogate her.
I personally supervised it. We presented the tools, gave her a few bruises, and that sufficed to get her to talk.
Tools? A few bruises? You really don't want to leave this crypt alive.
If we're to die, we'll do so proudly, serving the Emperor. But I think that unlikely. Contrary to what they say, you're no murderer. Triss told me so.
Got anything else to tell me?
Just one thing. I've supervised dozens of interrogations. All subjects talk sooner or later. That's an old truth. though some resist longer than others. Triss Merigold did not resist at all. She grew pale at the mere sight of the saws, hooks, and needles. She was prepared to talk before the interrogation began.
Cynthia, tell him to shut up or I'll kill him.
Silence, Adelbear. That's an order. Witcher, help me complete my mission. Help me open Der Henner's laboratory.
What'll you give me?
I've read the intelligence reports. I know your past. There are things in there, important things you don't remember.
I could force you to tell me.
I don't think so. Will you torture me? We both know you couldn't.
Fine. I'll help you open the laboratory.
In exchange, I'll tell you all I can. Do we have a deal?
Yeah.
Are we likely to encounter drowners? Or a related species? Perhaps other monsters?
That is how this world's built. Sewers are infested with monsters. Watch it now. Guess that will learn.
I'm impressed.
I've kept my end of the bargain. I hope you'll keep yours.
Be sure of it.
I'm no rat to run around sewers. What we're looking for, anyway? Some graves, I heard.
Graves? So maybe there is something in this forest.
Shut your traps. Want the sergeant to hear? We're in deep shite. But it is a good idea.
We've got company.
Redanian bastards.
The entrance must be somewhere here.
If our experts are to be trusted.
Der Henner dabbled in illusions, among other things.
He also experimented heavily with golems.
Golems with the power of speech, supposedly. They knew nothing of poetry, but...
Will you two shut up?
Yes, it's an illusion. I found a weak spot. Stand back. Later, Lisa Elorn. Later, dear!
Ever noticed how monster entrails differ completely
That
from
was the first time I saw a witch in action skulking beyond.
At times I'm caught. You can get my kind of feat. Though I have no needles, they say I am piercing. What am I?
Careful with the answer. It could be a trap.
Typical of dear Hannah. He was a genius with a penchant for mischievous jokes, like a child.
So a couple of adults, purported experts, should have no problem solving this.
Indeed, it's trivial. The answer is pain.
Incorrect.
No! Impossible! So many years of research together. Why did we ever embark on this? Imagine the books, the potions.
Capable of kindness and cruelty, I take victims when I sour. I can be on your side or wrong you. I bring gifts though you already have me.
A king.
Incorrect.
Books, potions.
Pleasant or terrible. I come at night or in daytime, short or long, but yours alone, essential. I am.
Death.
Incorrect.
Impossible! So many.
Pleasant or terrible.
A rhyme.
Incorrect. I'm seen to fly, described as hard. I can be your currency and heal all wounds, but not many things can stand my test.
The sun.
Incorrect. Pleasant or terrible. I come at night or in daytime, short or long, but yours alone, essential. I am.
A crime.
Incorrect. Capable of kindness and cruelty, I take victims when I sour. I can be on your side or wrong you. I bring gifts though you already have me.
All right. Help me out here.
I was good at riddles as a child, but that was so long ago. Perhaps it's a capricious king who rewards some subjects and sends others off to war.
Kind and cruel. Supportive and sour. Only lovers are that fickle. And they're occasionally thoughtful enough to give gifts.
A Lady Cynthia is an expert. I'd take her suggestion if I were you.
I once had a lover. She left me devastated.
Or could it be love? It seems to fit. It can be kind, the greatest gift, or cruel and take its toll.
It can also be blind. How about an elf? Some are kind and bring gifts, others are bitter and cruel.
Do you think this is a game? Our lives are on the line here.
A king.
Incorrect.
Impossible! So many years of research to...
Capable of kindness and cruelty, I take victims when I sour. I can be on your side or wrong you. I bring gifts though you already have me.
All right, help me out here.
I was good at riddles as a child, but that was so long ago. Perhaps it's a capricious king who rewards some subjects and sends others off to war.
Kind and cruel. Supportive and sour. Only lovers are that fickle. And they're occasionally thoughtful enough to give gifts.
A Lady Cynthia is an expert. I'd take her suggestion if I were you.
I once had a lover. She left me devastated.
Or could it be love? It seems to fit. It can be kind, the greatest gift, or cruel and take its toll.
It can also be blind. How about an elf? Some are kind and bring gifts, others are bitter and cruel.
Do you think this is a game? Our lives are on the line here.
A river.
Incorrect.
Let's get this over with quickly.
Pleasant or terrible. I come at night or in daytime, short or long, but yours alone, essential. I am.
Anyone here good at riddles in their youth?
Forgive me for sitting this out.
Yours alone. Something essential.
Time!
Time flows. It doesn't come at night or during the day. You're not making sense.
But time can be pleasant or terrible.
Anything can be pleasant or terrible. But not everything can be short or long. What about a day?
We also say, my time has come.
But it doesn't fit the rest. This isn't a game of forfeits. Our lives are at stake here.
Anyone here good at...
Forgive me for sitting this out.
Yours alone. Something essential.
Time!
Time flows. It doesn't come at night or during the day. You're not making sense.
But time can be pleasant or terrible.
Anything can be pleasant or terrible. But not everything can be short or long. What about a day?
We also say, my time has come.
But it doesn't fit the rest. This isn't a game of forfeits. Our lives are at stake here.
A rhyme.
Incorrect.
Impossible! So
Pleasant or terrible. I come at night or in daytime, short or long, but yours alone, essential. I am.
please repeat the...
Pleasant or terrible? I come at...
A dream.
Correct.
It's going rather well so far.
Not for everybody. Someone's been here recently.
Well, well, the competition's here. Kill them!
They must have descended straight from their quarter.
Let a Nordling.
Another guardian. Later Elorn. Lisa Elorn. Later dear!
One buffoon less.
It's reacting to my spell.
A group of travelers wandering through the dark. 3 guides above them, so 3 were marked. At night they trailed a drake serpentine and a silver lady shining and fine. If only her visage she would deign to unfold. By day they followed a mountain vault, its riches untold.
Did I hear someone complain about the riddles being too easy?
Let's think this through. There are 9 alcoves, a fresco in each. That's 3 groups of 3 frescoes.
The riddle mentions 3 guides above the travelers. We must examine the frescoes, seek answers there.
I'll advise you about the riddle, but I will not take part in disarming the device. I've got a bad feeling about this.
A group of travelers wandering through the dark. 3 guides above them, so 3 were marked. At night they trailed a drake serpentine and a silver lady shining and fine. If only her visage she would deign to unfold. By day they followed a mountain vault, its riches untold.
What do you think of the first verse?
I would say it describes a serpentine dragon swallowing its own tail, which represents infinity and thus time. The hourglass likewise symbolizes time. In this case, the time of the traveler's journey.
I believe it's the dragon constellation. It would be visible at night. What's more, sources on alchemy invariably portray dragons as winged, and as an accomplished alchemist, Gehenna would also be a competent astrologer. The verse must refer to the constellation.
In alchemy, the winged serpentine dragon represents prime matter, an essential component in the process of alchemical transformation. The verse seems to indicate the allegory illustrating that transformation.
I think it's the hourglass.
I shall take that one.
What do you think of this?
To my mind,
I think it's the full moon.
Allow me.
What do you say to the third verse?
It describes the precipice, the ravine amidst mountains. An ancient rule in alchemy states, as above, so below. The vault is the ravine into which the riches of the mountain...
It's reacting to my spell. Too bad about Gaspar.
I cannot hope to finish the research alone. I persuaded Gaspar to pursue all.
A group of travelers wandering through the dark. 3 guides above them, so 3 were marked. At night they trailed a drake serpentine and a silver lady shining and fine. If only her visage she would deign to unfold. By day they followed a mountain vault, its riches untold.
Did I hear someone complain about the riddles being too easy?
Let's think this through. There are 9 alcoves, a fresco in each. That's 3 groups of 3 frescoes.
The riddle mentions 3 guides above the travelers. We must examine the frescoes, seek answers there.
I'll advise you about the riddle, but I will not take part in disarming the device. I've got a bad feeling about this. I persuaded Gaspar to pursue
we have
all
a few
this.
more of Der Henne's surprises for unwanted.
A group of travelers wandering through the dark. 3 guides above them, so 3 were marked. At night they trailed a drake serpentine and a silver lady shining and fine. If only her visage she would deign to unfold. By day they followed a mountain vault, its riches untold.
What do you think of the first verse?
I would say it describes a serpentine dragon swallowing its own tail, which represents infinity and thus time. The hourglass likewise symbolizes time. In this case, the time of the traveler's journey.
I believe it's the dragon constellation. It would be visible at night. What's more, sources on alchemy invariably portray dragons as winged, and as an accomplished alchemist, Der Henne would also be a competent astrologer. The verse must refer to the constellation.
In alchemy, the winged serpentine dragon represents prime matter, an essential component in the process of alchemical transformation. The verse seems to indicate the allegory illustrating that transformation.
Can someone remind me how the line was worded?
The first verse was, "At night they trailed a drake serpentine."
What do you think of the first verse?
I would say it describes a serpentine dragon swallowing its own tail, which represents infinity and thus time. The hourglass likewise symbolizes time. In this case, the time of the traveler's journey.
I believe it's the dragon constellation. It would be visible at night. What's more, sources on alchemy invariably portray dragons as winged, and as an accomplished alchemist, Der Henne would also be a competent astrologer. The verse must refer to the constellation.
In alchemy, the winged serpentine dragon represents prime matter, an essential component in the process of alchemical transformation. The verse seems to indicate the allegory illustrating that transformation.
It should be the dragon constellation.
I shall take that one.
What do you think of the second verse?
To my mind, it speaks of the white rose, symbol of the Order of the Flaming Rose. You see, the fresco itself resembles a coat of arms, and in heraldry, silver is rendered as white. So the Silver Lady and White Rose are one and the same.
I think it describes the full moon. In alchemy, the moon represents both silver as a metal and the feminine element.
The order remains largely unknown in the south, so the White Rose seems unlikely. Every Nilfgaardian, on the other hand, has heard of the Imperial Nausicaa Brigade, which has the Death's Head as its symbol. The brigade's name is female, and they say death follows a unit. So the Silver Lady could very well be Nausicaa or the Death's Head.
It's the skull, or at least it should be.
Allow me.
What do you say to the third verse?
It describes the precipice, the ravine amidst mountains. An ancient rule in alchemy states, as above, so below. The vault is the ravine into which the riches of the mountain flow.
We must read the third line literally. To me, it suggests the Mahakam Mountains and its mines, from which dwarves and gnomes extract many ores that are invaluable to alchemists. Those mountains are a vault in and of themselves.
The verse is not literal. In many legends, towers are in fact vaults, which the hero must penetrate in order to rescue an imprisoned princess or find a long-concealed magic item. The mountain vault is the tower.
It's gotta be the ravine. I'll stand next to that fresco. Let's see if we can solve this. Take your places.
Count me out. I want to live.
As you will.
Wandering. At night they trailed a drake serpentine and a silver lady shining and fine. If only her visage she would deign to unfold. By day they followed a mountain vault, its riches untold.
Everything seems to suggest the allegory of alchemical transformation.
I shall take that one.
I think it's the full moon.
Allow me.
A group of
It must be the white. The mine. Let's see if we can solve this. Take your places.
Count me out. I want to live.
As you will.
Let's try another combination.
A group of travelers wandering through the dark. 3 guides above them, so 3 were marked. At night they trailed a drake serpentine and a silver lady shining and fine. If only her visage she would deign to unfold. By day they followed a mountain vault, its riches untold.
Everything seems to suggest the allegory of alchemical transform.
I shall take that one.
It must be the White Road.
Allow me.
The verse describes the tower, I'm sure. I'll stand next to that fresco. Let's see if we can solve this. Take your places.
Count me out. I want to live.
As you will.
We must try another combination.
A group of travelers wandering through the dark. 3 guides above them, so 3 were marked. At night they trailed a drake serpentine and a silver lady shining and fine. If only her visage she would deign to unfold. By day they followed a mountain vault, its riches untold.
It should be the Dragon constellation.
I shall take that one.
It's the skull, or at least it should be.
Allow me.
The mine entrance in the mountainside. That seems logical. I'll stand next to that fresco. Let's see if we can solve this. Take your places.
Count me out. I want to live.
As you will.
Take that.
Too bad about Gaspar.
A group of travelers wandering through the dark. 3 guides above them, so 3 were marked. At night they trailed a drake serpentine and a silver lady shining and fine. If only her visage she would deign to unfold. By day they followed a mountain vault, its riches untold.
It should be the... I think it...
Allowed.
The verse Let's see if we can solve this.
Count me out. I want to...
As you will.
finish the research alone.
Try another combination.
Monsters.
A group of
Everything.
Try another combination.
A group of travelers wandering through the dark. 3 guides above them, so 3 were marked. At night they trailed a drake serpentine and a silver lady shining and fine. If only her visage she would deign to unfold. By day they followed a mountain vault, its riches untold.
It should be. I think The verse describes the tower, I'm sure. I'll stand next to that fresco. Let's see if we can solve this. Take your places.
Count me out. I want to live.
As you will.
Intruder detected.
Our expedition has grown thin. Such a shame. I actually found those 2 amusing.
Shut up. A golem? So Derhenna's legend is true?
It is no more than an obedient machine created to follow orders and kill. Not unlike our Witcher.
So I guess we should get along famously.
You? What do you know about golems?
I don't run into them in every forest, but any good bestiary describes golems at length, and I've read more than my share of those.
Geralt, I'm not questioning your knowledge, but I should be the one to...
Actually, you are questioning my knowledge. Listen, I know what I'm doing. I'll try to get it to reveal the word that'll deactivate it, or I'll just mess with its head. Break the code.
So now we've got a burglar in our midst. Be my guest. Try.
My intentions are good.
As are mine. Know, however, that this may change.
Derhenna must have been pretty lonely if he gave you eloquence.
The Master made me a guardian. Nothing less, nothing more. And you, provided you stand there, are a guest.
So you're aware you're an automaton?
Do we really know who we are, where we came from, and where we are headed? Is human life predictable in that the cycle of birth and death ensnares it? Better than mine. When a human is born, he is obedient to his parents. Later, he listens to tutors, masters, corporals. Finally, he succumbs to the will of death.
And to think that Adalbert questioned Derhenna's mastery. You're far more self-aware than a typical golem. Can you make sovereign decisions?
The Master made me the way I am, because long discussions were to his liking. I can make decisions, within my program, of course.
So you decide who's a guest and who's an intruder?
Who else would? Guests chat innocuously, exerting no pressure. All others are intruders.
Has anyone tried to enter before?
I recall no intruders. I do, however, remember guests who left after being warned.
When was that? What did you discuss?
I am a machine. My memory is limited.
I have other questions. Did your creator give you a name?
I'm called obedience and unyielding persistence. I am a guardian and the humblest of servants.
A golem's name is the word that gave it life, and that can take it away. You must have a name.
I own nothing. Everything belongs to my master. How could I divulge the name if I exist solely to protect my creator's property?
Do you remember your creator?
Of course. I was summoned into being by Master Derhenna. I abide by his will, by his power, by the necessity encased in my stone bowels.
Derhenna is dead.
His word, which animates me, lives on, as does his legacy, which I protect. Empires will rise and fall, rivers will shift their courses, but I will remain obedient to one master on my eternal watch.
Derhenna must have been an exceptional man. Can you tell me about him?
I guard everything that belonged to the master, including his privacy, which he valued highly. I can tell you nothing.
Can I ask you for the name word which brought you to life and which can deactivate you?
Do that, and I shall consider you an intruder.
You're not an automaton. You're self-aware, and you think. You can make decisions.
You're wrong. I am eloquent and can discern between guests and intruders. I can also deal with the latter. But everything I say and do is limited by my restrictive program. By the way, as an automaton, I am immune to all charms. Stop the intruders.
Take that.
Let's have a look. This is better than I'd hoped.
A great success for Nilfgaard, this mission.
Maybe you'll get that promotion.
History. Derhenna describes finding Derhenna's notes from a trip he took to Zeracania. Derhenna mentions some bacteria strains.
Can you feel that?
My medallion's vibrating.
Another masking illusion. I'll try to disperse it. Later Elorn. Lisa Elorn. Later, dear!
The device. What is it?
You've done your job. You'll be paid and...
Paid like the scholars were? They died once they were no longer useful.
They were never useful, but Cynthia insisted. Fortunately, they were so kind as to remove themselves without my help.
I'm not about to be that kind.
Adelbert, you know what you're to look for.
Yes, Ma'am.
It's a prototype megascope. I didn't know it had survived.
What's it do?
The artifact detects an emotional bond with a person. Its user need only focus on that person and the device will establish a connection.
Great tool for a spy.
Yes.
Time you fulfilled your end of the bargain. What do you know about my past?
You were a rider of the Wild Hunt. I read the reports.
Don't the Nilfgaardians have anything better to do than write reports about witchers?
Not about witchers. About you. You are the sole person to have been a member of the host, and survived.
I was sure you'd try to cheat me. Gotta admit I was wrong.
You were sure and you came with us anyway.
I was curious. I wanted to see what Nilfgaard was after.
Your payment. You were well worth the coin.
I wonder where we'll meet next. What it'll be like.
Who knows? Perhaps we'll be allies once more.
Ah.
Renounce magic, I tell you! Shatter your towers and crystal balls! Break your wands!
Constable John Natalis.
Interix John Natalis. Prepare for your final lesson.
Final? But...
I'll have no discussion.
Medallion's telling me something.
way!
Say goodbye to life! Never seen anything like that in my life! For the kingdom!
Guess they'll never learn.
Your Majesty.
I've waited long for this meeting. You left Redania so suddenly I had no chance to give you the send-off you so richly deserved.
Your Majesty, I fail to understand why I have been arrested. I've done nothing but serve Redania's interests, supporting the rebellion, undermining Henselt, risking my own reputation on your behalf.
I'm no longer the little boy who believed your every word.
Why do you do this, Radovid? I was there at your most trying hours. Without me, you would not be the man you are. I don't understand.
You understand very well. You conspired against my father Vizimir, and against me. The entire Redanian court once trembled in fear of Philippa Eilhart.
Untrue, sire. You must let me explain. What are your charges, your Majesty?
Ambassador.
Triss Merigold was kind enough to compile a list of persons making up the secret society known as the Lodge of Sorceresses. Some Nilfgaardian sorceresses were members as well, but you need not be bothered with them, my lady.
Triss, you're mad!
The Lodge ordered Demaven killed. It ordered Foltest killed. I suspect you played a part in my father's death. And if I released you from the Dimeritium, you'd kill me too. You're finished, Eilhart. There will be a trial, due process, everything as it should be. But know that you shall not wriggle out of this. You shall be convicted of conspiracy, treason, and regicide. They'll rip your flesh from you in bits before they burn you at the stake. Throughout my childhood, I felt your cold stare on the back of my neck. When I issued orders, my subjects would search with their eyes for Philippa Eilhart's gesture of consent. The entire court at Tretogor looked on as you humiliated me. All Redania laughed behind my back. You taught me to look everyone in the eye. Forced them to lower their gaze, do you remember? A king must never show weakness, uncertainty, you said. I've mastered that skill. Yet there is one I could never force to submit. You. You've one chance to shorten your suffering. Admit to everything, here and now in the Ambassador's presence. Look me in the eye and repent. Submit. As you wish. Torturer, put out those vile eyes.
You're making a grave error, sire.
We will talk again, witch.
The Philippa Eilhart problem.
Intruder! Get him!
You're not easy to find.
Look what they did to me. Radovid. To think I taught him magic tricks when he was just a boy. Free me, Geralt. I have to get out of here. Do you hear me? Help me!
You'll answer a few questions first. Was Shillard telling the truth about the Lodge, the assassinations?
He said exactly what Radovid wanted to hear. Half-truths, musings stripped of context, which differ very little from lies.
Did Triss take part in all this?
She's clean in those terms. Innocent as a child, but only to a point. I assure you, she has not been honest with you about many other matters.
Why did all this happen? Murdering monarchs, what interests did it serve? I can't fathom.
Help me get out of here and I'll explain all and lift the spell from Saskia. Take these shackles off me and lead me to my house. I beg you. I'll tell you everything. Everything.
I didn't track you alone. Yorvith can't wait to see you again.
My death would change little. Yorvith and all like him have no right to judge others.
How does the spell work?
Saskia's will and mine are one. She cannot resist me. But fear not. There's no suffering involved. She merely believes me to be the most wonderful person in the world. As if she were in love. You know what's most beautiful? In spite of all this, she seems unchanged. She's retained her charm, her valor, her honor.
Where's Saskia?
When I was arrested, she was with Sheila. They must be on their way to the deliberations by now.
Clock's ticking. Time is of the essence.
Why do you do this? Would you take vengeance on a blind woman?
Shillard said they've got Triss. I have to free her before they put out her eyes too.
Going to the Nilfgaardian camp is suicide.
And leaving a friend is villainy.
Only I know how to break the spell that holds Saskia. Get me out of here. If I die, she'll remain forever spellbound.
Saskia will remain an enslaved monster through your wickedness. You deserve to die.
Even if you reach Triss, you will not free her.
Sure I will. I'll trade Shillard for her.
And what will Yorvith say when he learns you abandon Saskia?
You worry about what he'll do to you. I doubt he'll see your blindness as sufficient punishment.
Do you think Marigold's innocent?
You have no right to judge her. Goodbye, Eilhart. Move your ass, Excellency.
This is preposterous. What do you aim to achieve?
I want to see Triss. How did you get in here?
Put that sword down.
Only after I cut your throat. The choice is yours.
I know of a tunnel.
Then you can be my guide.
It's the tunnel to the left.
You make an exceptional guide. Go. One false move and your ambassador will never see Nilfgaard's son again.
My men won't let you leave here alive.
They will if you ask them to, Excellency, and I believe you will.
Reynold Eb Madsen's orders come from the Emperor himself. He'd rather die than give you Marigold.
Then he'll die.
No, mark my words. You will. Unless you release me, it's not too late.
You're boring me. Pick up the pace.
Why do you care for that sorceress so much?
Out of the way, all of you, or the old man dies.
Hold there!
I'm not joking.
I know. And I advise you not to hesitate. Kill him. For we shan't move one bit.
Renwald!
He who brings me the Witcher's head will get the Order of Merit.
But Ambassador Fitzestelen...
Your Excellency. Orders from the capital.
Now I'll have to kill you all.
What are you waiting for? Get him!
For Nilfgaard! Die, Nordling!
The gate's closed. There must be another way in.
For Nilfgaard!
For the Emperor! For the Emperor!
Did you really think you could just prance in here? Make the Emperor proud! Kill him!
Long live the Emperor!
The Imperial Army's ranks are endless!
Die, Nordling!
You're a stubborn beast, Nordling. Congratulations, Witcher. They were my best men.
Free Triss, or join them.
You amaze me. How can you risk your life for a witch?
She has information that's very important to me.
Ah, that I understand. You're exceptionally reasonable for an Earthling.
Thanks. It means a lot to hear you say that.
It should, because I in turn have information about her, which you may find interesting.
What are you talking about?
Your friend and the other witches conspired against your rulers.
How do you know that?
From the best possible source. She confessed.
And how did you convince her to do that?
By showing her the confessions of other lodge members.
I don't believe you.
That's irrelevant at this point. During our chat, my people managed to regroup, call for reinforcements.
Maybe now they'll start fighting like men.
Time to show you the Empire's true power. Surround him!
Long live the Emperor!
On your guard!
Shame to the Empire! Shield bearers, forward!
Die, Northling!
Emperor, I failed you.
Geralt?
Didn't expect to see me.
Are you kidding? The only person you expect to see in a Nilfgaardian dungeon is the executioner.
Did they torture you?
They tried various things, but they got nothing from me.
I traveled half the world to find you.
I know it was hard on you. I'll never forget this, you hear? Never.
I'd slaughter half the Nilfgaardian army for a friend. I know you're a member of the Lodge, Triss.
How do you know of the Lodge?
Does it matter? I also know the Lodge was behind Demoven's assassination.
Geralt, I
trust you.
True. I'm a member of the Lodge. Just like 8 other sorceresses. But if you think I'm responsible for the Lodge's actions, you're badly mistaken. The Lodge is a theater for 2 actresses. Sheila and Philippa have long dominated it.
To the point where you didn't know about the murder they planned?
To the point where I was no longer invited to gatherings.
Why?
They stopped trusting me.
Because you didn't agree with them?
9 women very rarely agree on anything. The actual problem was that...
Tell me.
I was close to you. If Sheila fears anyone, it's Geralt of Rivia. The Lodge did everything to convince me that our relationship didn't bother them, even that it suited them. But they manipulated me. Through me, they fed you select information. Depending on the circumstances, they twisted facts.
We're still close. They could still be doing it.
Don't insult me.
Calm down, Triss. Reynold Ep Matson claimed otherwise, but I'll always take your word over that of some Nilfgaardian lowlifes. Now, you'll tell me everything you know. I need to learn the truth.
All existing councils of mages disintegrated after the Thaned massacre. We all acted separately. Philippa decided to create a new organization, a secret one this time. When I was sworn in, it never crossed my mind that the Lodge's plans would soon become secret to its members. As you know, Philippa's not one for minor undertakings. She presented a plan for creating a powerful state controlled by sorceresses.
No wonder the kings are opposing the sorceresses. Nobody likes a schemer.
Philippa and Sheila never lacked ideas or enthusiasm. To control a powerful state, they needed to create one first. Or find a wealthy land with a suitable political arrangement and an easily manipulated ruler. Sheila chose the Pontar Valley, Demavend, and Stennis.
I'd choose the same if I were her. Demavend didn't have a network of spies anywhere near as good as Henselt's or Radovid's.
Nor could he count on the loyalty of such men as our dear Vernon Roche. At one of our meetings, I just asked how they imagined overthrowing Demavend. That was the last time I was invited. After Demavend's death, I became suspicious but had no evidence. Philippa brushed me off. When you went off to meet Yorveth and Sheila was busy with the Karen's carcass, I managed to scan parts of her megascope. That's when I learned that Sheila had dealings with Letho.
Why didn't you tell me?
I wanted to, but we never met after that. Letho must have shadowed me when I entered Sheila's room. Then he forced me to teleport us to somewhere near Vergen.
Did you talk to him?
He wasn't aggressive. In Vergen, he told me that Sheila commissioned them to assassinate Demavend. Them being the Witchers of the School of the Viper. Sheila helped them prepare the assassination.
I wonder why he told you about it.
Is that important?
Conspirators who suddenly divulge everything? I'd be suspicious.
There was some interference as we teleported to Edirn. I emerged intact, but pretty battered.
I met the troll who fell in love with you.
He saved me, tended to my wounds. But when he started treating me like a caged canary, I fled. I knew Philippa was in the area. I decided to go see her and lay my cards on the table.
Maybe Letho wanted just that.
I met a woman at Philippa's house. Thought she was just a servant or Philippa's lover. Before I could speak, I was overpowered by spells. I hardly expected an attack. The pain I felt as my body was compressed. It's indescribable. As if all my bones were being broken. It's even worse when you return to your true form. In any case, Philippa had no idea her lover was a Nilfgaardian spy. I was carried as that figurine all the way to Loch Muin. Asira decompressed me back just before they murdered her. Shillard interrogated me but learned nothing. If it wasn't for you, they'd have had me quartered. I didn't piece the puzzle together until I was here, in the dungeon. Now you know everything.
Did Saskia know the Lodge's plans?
She didn't even know the Lodge existed. Philippa told her that the sorceresses would support an independent state in the Pontar Valley, no strings attached. A fairy tale, but Saskia bought it. Saskia backed Philippa, and the people backed Saskia.
Philippa controlled Saskia with her spells.
Figures. The woman's a control freak.
She miscalculated by coming to Loch Muin. Radovid had her imprisoned and then blinded.
That's impossible.
I was there. Who had Foltest assassinated?
I have no idea. Perhaps after Demavend's successful assassination, Sheila and Philippa decided to take the next step.
That would be stupid. Killing Demavend was a way to take control of the Pontar Valley. People would forget the regicide in a year, and the Lodge could put its plan in motion. They had to know that if Foltest died, men like Roach wouldn't rest until they learned why that had happened.
One thing is certain. Letho killed Foltest, and Sheila was working with Letho.
Ever find out what Sheila was actually doing in Flotsam? I find it hard to believe she went there just to kill a monster and earn a few orans.
You're right, of course. It had something to do with Letho and the Scoia'tael.
What did she want from Yorvith?
The Scoia'tael were Saskia's trump card. I expect Sheila needed to know what the elves would do, given that a war with Hensel was practically inevitable.
That'll have to do for now.
We'll learn more at the talks.
You're going to attend?
You have no memory of how the world worked before the Thanid massacre.
Actually, I know exactly how it worked.
That means...
We'll talk about my memory later.
All right. If the Council and Conclave still existed, kings wouldn't be assassinated and massacres would be less frequent. This is our chance to restore these institutions, and we shouldn't miss it. Normalizing relations between the rulers and the mages who advise them is our only chance for peace.
And our only chance to dismantle the Lodge.
The Lodge will disintegrate anyway. Once the kings learn it was behind the assassinations, they'll start a witch hunt. We can prevent that from happening. I'm all for punishing the guilty, but can't abide collective responsibility. I'm ready to go and reveal everything I know about Philippa Eilhart, Sheila de Tanserville, and their schemes.
Let's go then.
Those Nilfgaardians, that's your work?
They followed their leader too blindly.
You killed them all.
They didn't slaughter themselves.
We shouldn't arrive at the same time. Let's split up.
Triss.
Yes?
That was some mess. I wouldn't want to see you hurt like that again.
Don't worry, I'll manage. See you at the talks.
All right.
In a hurry to see the deliberations?
Here on urgent business.
Your dress seems to confirm it. Excuse you indeed. I suppose I couldn't much care. I've heard what I came to hear.
And what, pray tell, was that?
The rightful heir will ascend to the Edirnian throne. There will be peace in the land. What more could one want?
Prince Stennis is here?
King Stennis. Crowned 2 days past in Vengerberg. Merely send a messenger here. All those present promptly agreed that he will make a good ruler.
Prince Stennis. A poisoner, coward, and schemer. He trembled with disgust when he spoke to the peasants. Disdain flowed from him like vomit. But he didn't deserve to be lynched. That was not the justice Saskia fought for. Prince Stennis I, son of Demavend III, became the 17th king of Edirn. He won the hearts of the people. They saw him as the hope of the nation. The realm, ravaged by war, needed a ruler sensitive to the plight of his subjects. King Stennis I was just that.
Good that you're here. We don't have much time.
Seems like we never do.
First, we have to get by the guards.
Leave that to me.
Be careful.
I'm always careful.
The Kingslayer!
Might have tried to reason with them.
Easier this way. Trust me.
Path's clear. Can we go?
I need to do something first.
All right, but don't take too long. Can we go now?
No time to lose.
Everything will be revealed at last.
Whether you like it or not, John Natalis, Temeria will be divided.
For the good of the entire North.
The united forces of Kedwin and Redania will end the fighting among the Elder Houses and secure peace from Gorsvelen to Ellender. At present, Temeria is starting to resemble the Pontar Valley.
Which, if I understand correctly, is currently controlled by Edern.
You are mistaken, Radovid. Vergen is free.
Free? What precisely does that mean?
Lormark is not Kedwin's, and Edern no longer controls Upper Edern. We have rejected Prince Stennis.
King Stennis?
And handed King Henselt's army a resounding defeat.
Your forces, my dear lass, are nothing but a motley array of rebellious peasants and elven brigands. Sooner or later, they will need to swear allegiance to someone, or they will be defeated and dispersed.
The peoples of the Pontar Valley will swear allegiance to me, Queen Saskia. As an independent realm, we hereby speak in favor of reconstituting the Council and Conclave.
You're a lovely girl, but you issue from common stock. The sole crown you are worthy of donning is a wreath woven of wildflowers. Redania will recognize no other coronation.
In that case, you must choose, King Radovid. Will you carve up Temeria, or march on the Pontar Valley? Henselt, last of the line of the unicorns, has sworn to recognize the Pontar Valley as a free realm. Philippa Eilhart witnessed it.
Philippa Eilhart is in my dungeon, awaiting trial for treason.
She was in your dungeon, Radovid, but is no longer. She will sit at my side in Vergen as my royal advisor.
To the matter at hand. The document describing the charter of the Council and the Conclave is, as previously ascertained, an exact copy of the charter found in the ruins on Thanet Island. The more important question relates to the Conclave and its power to designate royal advisors. Today, randomly chosen mages and sorceresses reside at many courts. However, in the time of the previous Conclave, such persons were carefully chosen.
Why shouldn't we pick our own advisors?
These individuals bear great responsibility, Your Majesty. The Conclave needs to be certain they are competent.
And that they will keep the Conclave's interests in mind.
Obviously, sire. The Conclave's chief interest is the well-being and prosperity of the Northern Kingdoms. The document has been signed by every member of the Conclave we have proposed, as well as by all but one of the designated advisors. We await only Sheila de Tanserville's signature.
Without our royal seals, you should be allowed to designate advisors to Cowhurt at most.
That is true, Your Majesty.
Sheila de Tanserville should never be allowed to sign this document.
Triss Merigold, you decided to join us after all.
De Tanserville has royal blood on her hands. She can't sit on the Conclave.
That is a lie.
Have you anything to support these claims, Merigold?
There are witnesses who will confirm that Sheila de Tanserville was behind the assassinations of Demavend and Foltest.
Officials of the future Council and Conclave. Sheila de Tanserville should be arrested and tried. If Triss Merigold speaks the truth, Lady de Tanserville will be condemned to death.
Sheila de Tanserville, until Triss Merigold's charges are dismissed or refuted, you cannot sit on the Conclave.
Arrest her.
You don't know the whole truth. Merigold doesn't know what she's talking about.
Turn back while you can, Witcher. You can't stop me. Not you, not anyone else. If I have to, I will kill you. How do you like my dragon?
You're late. I've already managed to stabilize the portal.
You've got nowhere to run. Sooner or later, somebody will find you.
I prefer to leave on my own terms.
Where's Letho?
Synthesis will tend to him, as she will to all the fools who get a hard-on at the mere thought of burning a sorceress at the stake.
Where is he?
I don't know, fool. I've been looking for him since Foltest's assassination. Letho cheated all of us. We were deceived by his dull face and sluggish stare. Don't you understand? The Lodge sought a way to get rid of Demavend, that's true. He was a weak, volatile king. Edirn would eventually choke to death under his rule. We chose the lesser evil. He had to be eliminated, and Letho happened to be at hand.
Foltest? Henselt?
We had nothing to do with that. After assassinating Demavend, Letho used our gold and magical support to find and meet Yorveth. The elf was to help him hide until the matter blew over, or so I thought. The Lodge did not condemn Foltest to die.
Then who did?
Nilfgaard. Letho is the king of liars and emperor of traitors. From the start, he worked for the glory of the great sun and the white flame dancing on the graves of his foes. He lied to everyone. Me, Yorveth, your stupid little Triss, and you.
Got any evidence?
A moment ago, I received a message from the Lodge's agent in Sintra. The Imperial Army is on the move. They're fording the Yaruga now. Do you think the North can defend itself in the current situation? And can you count on another miracle at Brenna?
I don't know, but you made it all possible and you'll answer for that. The stigma of treason is yours for all time.
We shall see. For no one will leave this city alive. No one will tell this story. Philippa controls the dragon. As soon as I disappear, it will turn the city into a flaming tomb. We may have lost a battle, but the war is just beginning. You, however, shall not take part in it. This is your end, Witcher.
Farewell! Something's not right! The diamond! Someone replace the diamond! This one's flawed! I'll be torn to bits! Geralt, remove it!
You waited long enough. Should you survive, go south to Nilfgaard, where you'll find Yennefer of Vengerberg. Farewell, Witcher.
Guess they'll never learn.
list of the Lodge's sorceresses. A list of the whores you'll help us find.
Are you all right?
More or less.
And the dragon?
Dragoness. Saskia's alive. Wounded and weak from loss of blood, but alive.
The spell is still working.
Unimportant. As long as Saskia lives, there's hope that we can break it. Besides, I don't kill dragons.
Philippa won't easily give up such a powerful weapon.
Triss, please understand. The last thing I want to do is slaughter one of the most beautiful creatures I've ever seen. Saskia is good incarnate. She's the exact antithesis of Eilhart and your former friends. They should be punished.
You're right. I just wanted...
I know what you wanted, and you're probably right in some way. But this time, logic and calculation are unimportant. If we have even the slimmest chance of breaking the spell and freeing Saskia, we need to try.
Let's get out of here.
I guess Letho got away.
He's waiting for you.
Waiting?
Where the Temerians made camp. Come on.
This should be interesting. What happened here while I was gone?
All the kings had many more armed men than they should have had at a peace summit. During the evacuation, several skirmishes broke out. The Cadwenis clashed with the Temerians. The Order's knights raped 2 sorceresses and killed those who dared try to help them.
Do you think the Council and Conclave will survive?
Well, they're established, and that's the only thing that prevented a wholesale massacre. Hard to say if they'll survive, but for the time being, no one's got any better ideas. Mages are part of this world, whether people like it or not. They have to have their rights, their place. Otherwise, another lodge will arise.
I think he's coming too.
Oh, bollocks.
The whoreson's in agony. Won't be long now.
Look at that. The cleverest of elven bandits, beaten burnt like ordinary scum.
This is the handiwork of some mage. I'd wager my wife on it.
You shouldn't have taken that trinket. You know they'll ask what he had on him.
And you'll not peep a word. Understand?
Hey you, piss off. We've got a dangerous prisoner here.
We'll be on our way.
I should think so.
Any idea what happened to Roach?
Yes.
You asked for it!
Want to tell me what that was about?
It's Yorvith. I owed him that much.
I guess I missed quite a bit.
Yeah. Can you help him?
I'm sorry, Geralt. This was high magic. Treating him will take time, maybe months.
I'm gonna miss the Kingslayer again. Stay with him, Triss. I'll be back for you when this is over.
Geralt.
I don't want you to get hurt.
I can take care of myself.
Not this time. I need to talk to him alone.
The magic shield came down when the deliberations ended. I'll teleport Yorvith out of here, far away to Vergen.
All right.
Take care of yourself.
This is no place for witches. Though I know you and you appear wherever something important happens.
True, though sometimes by accident.
And this time, also a coincidence?
Let's say I have something to take care of.
In that case, hurry. Once we're done cleaning up this mess created by the royal soldiery, Loch Muin will be magically sealed.
Getting out of here?
Temporarily. We shall return soon enough to rebuild the city. Loch Muin will regain its former glory. Until that time, we need to keep the treasure hunters and troublemakers out.
So Radovid trusts you?
We shall win His Royal Majesty's trust by delivering Sheila de Tansarville and the other traitresses from the lodge.
That could take a while. Sheila's fled Loch Muin via Megascope.
We have time. She cannot hide forever. Sooner or later, she will be ours. Forgive me, I must attend to some matters. And don't dawdle. The city will be sealed in 1 hour.
Took you a while? Is that bauble from Sheila's Megascope?
Mm-hmm. My final prank. I switched the diamonds. The one in the Megascope has a flaw. Minute. But just large enough to warp the teleport. The Emperor's magic theorists assured me the effect would be spectacular.
I let her escape.
You're heartless. You've no idea what the Royal Witch Hunters have in store for her. A lot of pain for a long time.
I don't doubt it. So, ready to lay your cards out on the table?
No matter the game, There comes a point when all the players need to show their cards. I love that moment. But first... vodka.
I suppose my throat's a little dry.
In that case, let's drink to old friendships. Recovered your memory yet?
Not entirely.
Remember how we first met?
Yeah, I saved your life. Couldn't think of a nicer way to pay me back?
Frankly, I couldn't. I mean, taking care of another man's woman, Yennefer. I can't fathom what you saw in her, but I suppose there's no accounting for taste.
The winter solstice 1270. Midinvern, the night of magic. Letho wasn't lying, the hunt had stopped. At the Hanged Man's Tree, the spectral riders selected from among those they had taken. Yennefer was among them. A wraith cannot be killed, only driven away. Every witcher knows that. Yet the riders fell beneath the blows of our witcher's blades. Crimson blood flowed from under their dead men's armor. We could not kill them all. They were simply too many. A stalemate. He was different from all other elves. There was no shame in his gaze. He had never suffered persecution. He had endured no massacres. Humans had not taken his land. This elf was not of this world. He was an invader. We struck a deal. My soul for that of Yennefer. He agreed without hesitation.
Back with me, friend. Got the feeling you left for a minute.
Memories. I remember the Hanged Man's Tree and the Wild Hunt. I remember the exchange. Me for Yennefer.
So, cards out on the table. Unless you chase me all that way just to kill me.
I'm done talking. Let's finish this.
Want to fight?
Any vodka left in that bottle?
A swig apiece. Here. The Imperial army is probably crossing the Yaruga as we speak. Pure pandemonium will ensue. The North's finished. Time to go south, where the good life awaits.
You're a fool, Letho. Both you and your Emperor are forgetting one thing. Misfortune brings people together. Very shortly, the North could be united like never before, thanks to you. But that's just not my concern anymore.
I'm not your foe. I never was. Let me walk away and I will. You'll never see me again. Force me to fight, and this time I'll kill you.
Time to fight. Ready?
As I'll ever be. You fear death.
Stop whining and fight.
What does it feel like to be almost dead?
I said fight.
The wolf has teeth and a jaw. I'm better. I can tell. You tire quickly.
I'm tired of your talking.
I don't want to kill you.
The Witcher had traveled far and wide in search of the Kingslayers. Along the way, he had met both the righteous and scoundrels, Bernard Laredo amongst the latter. Laredo sold Flotsam to Kedwin and scattered the local non-humans to the four winds. Flotsam became a military base. Its civilian population was resettled. In Edirn, the Witcher witnessed Saskia the Dragonslayer achieve a great victory. The Pontar Valley, previously Upper Edirn, became a promised land for outcasts who dared dream of freedom. Even sly old Zoltan Chive came to believe in this land of bliss. Yet dark times approached for the architects of the New Order. Dark clouds had been gathering over Temeria since Foltest's death. Stripped of its king, the land was like a rich cloth which nobles began to shred. These minor scavengers, however, scurried off in fear when true predators reached out for their prize. The summit at Loch Muin sealed the fate of Foltest's realm, when Radovid of Redania and Henselt of Kedwin divided it between them. Years before, Geralt of Rivia had witnessed the fall of the Council and Conclave of Mages. The summit in Loch Muin re-established both bodies, their founders sacrificing Sheila de Tanzerville and her accomplices. Yet Radovid also required humility and loyalty from the proud mages, but this did not sit well with all of them. It was a time of great uncertainty, of rape accomplished by royal decree. Yet as troubled as the days seemed, we, who had in some way shaped the world's fate, finally received some respite. Zoltan resumed the quest for his beloved's hand, and I laid my head in the laps of the muses. Who could have known this tempest which had ravaged the north was but a harbinger of darker days, and the preamble to an entirely new tale of Geralt of Rivia.